Some school districts are taking a third snow day due to road conditions and inclement weather. Schoolcraft Community Schools, just one district having to close again today. News Channel 3's Lexi Petrovich joins us live in Schoolcraft this morning. And Lexi, you're looking into why some districts are going virtual instead of making the call to take a snow day.
Good morning. That's right. And many of those school closings are mostly in St. Joseph and Branch counties this morning. But the pandemic has really pushed school districts to think outside of the box when it comes to virtual capabilities. And it's also becoming a new strategy for some school districts to prevent lost instructional time on inclement weather days. Now, I reached out to 8 different school districts in 4 different West Michigan counties, and they say that a lot of these schools are really considering this option, but others say it does provide some challenges, especially when you're trying to plan for virtual learning on such short notice. Now, on our WWMT school closings page, Parchment Public Schools and Athens area schools said earlier this week they were switching to distance learning. Others say they have considered going virtual and they have the capabilities to have students work from home, but under Michigan state requirements, 75% of student attendance must be met on a given school day, whether that's in person or virtual. Otherwise, that day may not count for the year.
In being rural, we provide one-to-one technology for our whole district, but they're hotspots, they're mobile MiFi devices, and just like your cell phone or anything else, connectivity can be an issue in rural areas of the district.
You just heard Bangor Public School Superintendent Lynn Johnson talking about some of those additional challenges that school districts in rural settings do face, along with connectivity issues. And he says that also impacts their decision on whether they want to decide to go virtual for the day or not. He says all students do have the necessary equipment and technology to do that on a given day, adding that 10 to 15% of students in their district do full-time virtual learning.
Tonight, people are continuing to clean up after 2 days of heavy snowfall caused problems for folks all over West Michigan. Van Buren County, of course, on the lakeshore, one of the areas that was hardest hit by yesterday's very powerful winter storm. We had numerous viewer reports of around 12 to 13 inches of snow in some areas in Van Buren County. Meteorologist Will Haney is beginning our live team coverage in Gobles, where folks are still digging out tonight. Will.
Yeah, hey there, Andy. We got a beautiful sky behind me. Just got to point that out. And I can say, standing out here live in downtown Gobles, noticeably colder and also more windy than it was yesterday. We just don't have that snow to deal with. And I can tell you this much. People here either shoveling out or some taking advantage of Michigan's winter wonderland. What a difference a day makes. Main roads? Not too bad today in Gobles. Neighborhoods and back roads still snowy and slick. That's where we found Tom Gendron digging out.
A garden variety to me. This is nothing for shoveling snow. I like it for about a minute and then I'm ready to see it go away.
Spoken like a seasoned Michigander. Just down the block, the Calhaven Trail was busy. Snowmobilers taking advantage of the fresh powder.
This is probably the 3rd time we've been out this year. You get a dump of snow, you go on the snowmobile.
Kevin and Naomi Goll moved to Matawan from the Chicago area about 6 years ago. Now they frequent the trail in the winter.
And I was sitting in my office yesterday looking over the driveway, just salivating. Yes.
But it's quiet, it's beautiful. The scenery as you're going is just unbelievably beautiful.
It wasn't just snowmobiles on the trail either. Maya, what do you think of the snow? Oh, you just want pets. A little camera shy, but she was loving her cold and wintry walk. If you still haven't gotten to shoveling or snowblowing yet,
take it easy, like you said, dress warmly, and take a break now and then.
I'm telling you guys, the dogs, they always find me when I'm on assignment. Now, if you're in Van Buren County, you should know that the road crews, the road commission that is, they're working a long shift tonight to ensure they can hit all their roads at least once. And then for Friday, they're going to continue to clear and widen what they can. And some good news to report, we've been telling you this, less than a dozen slide-offs, at least in Van Buren County, were reported, that and crashes. So that's some good news. Seems like people are staying in and heeding the warning.
And good evening to you. Good news and bad on the COVID front. Coronavirus infections and hospitalization rates are finally falling again in Michigan. But new data just out tonight also shows the virus spreading like wildfire in K through 12 students.
Yeah, dozens of West Michigan schools are on the state's new outbreak report. News Channel 3's Andrew Feather is in Kalamazoo to tell us why kids seem to be getting hit the hardest.
In the last couple of weeks, about 24 students and staff here at Linden Grove Middle School have tested positive for the virus. It's one of 11 KPS schools experiencing a COVID-19 outbreak and among almost 250 schools statewide. Michigan is now seeing major positives in its ongoing battle with COVID-19. New daily cases have dropped about 40% since peaking 2 weeks ago, and 600 fewer COVID-positive patients are hospitalized than there were on Friday. Despite the positive trends, experts say the highly infectious Omicron variant is still tearing through school-age populations.
It seems to maybe be a little tougher on small kids, unvaccinated small kids, because we are seeing a bit of an increase in the fraction of the COVID cases in hospital that are in small kids.
Almost 1,800 students and staff have been infected as part of ongoing school outbreaks in the state. Kalamazoo Public Schools, which does have a masking requirement, reports an additional 316 cases in the last 2 weeks. Portage Public Schools, which also has a mask mandate, reports 400 cases over the same period. Dr. Nigel Paneth, professor emeritus of epidemiology at Michigan State University, says the low vaccination rate and lack of mask requirements at many schools in Michigan is driving the spread.
And I think we really have to push on that front. I think the pediatricians really, the medical community really must press hard on vaccination for the people under 18. 11 to 18, we have a license.
Just 1/3 of Michiganders between 15 and 19 years old are fully vaccinated, with the rates skewing even lower in the state's youngest students. COVID-19 hospitalizations among children have dropped slightly in the past couple of weeks, but still remain much higher than they have been for any point during the rest of the pandemic. Experts tell me that parents should consider vaccinating their kids and having them mask up when they're at school if they haven't already.